Hi guys, we're back in the studio. I'm all on my lonesome, which makes these sofas feel, look how big these look without all the guys here with me. I was testing them out lying horizontally, you know, just to make sure that they were comfy for the guests. I felt it was important. So obviously that was a great panel there. The guys going through some of the new features of Minecraft that are going to be, brought out. Obviously you've got shields. That's pretty cool. I know a lot of you guys out there, that was one of the things you were really, really looking forward to, and you can put your banners on it, that kind of thing. Plus, different arrow tips. That's pretty awesome as well. It's always a fine kind of balance of when you've got a really, really popular franchise like this. Do you want to change it too much? Because, you know, hardcore fans will get a little bit upset. But, you just want to kind of keep it a little bit fresh. Just new tweaks every now and again, just to, just keep things kind of moving along. And one of the great things, obviously, about Minecon is that there's been so many great new announcements. Obviously, the Telltale game, we're finding out some more stuff about that. All the HoloLens stuff, which yesterday, I think the last interview you did in the day, I was just standing there with my mouth open, just... It's going to be a huge game changer, and I'm super excited when actually all of you guys are going to get a chance to do it. Actually, I do remember them announcing that 25 people, I think it was 25, were going to get a golden ticket. I want to find somebody. Can we find some of these guys, some of you lot who actually got to go and try that? That would be amazing. I'll see what I can source later on. Right now, in a moment, we're going to be talking to Greg, who's the guy who basically put the entire... most of the awesome of what you see at Minecon together. We're going to be having a chat with him about how he did it. But we're just going to chuck to a very, very quick VT with MK the Worst, who's been trying out the Small World ride. Let's find out more.
Oh my goodness, are we live right now? All right, guys, we're going through Small World at Minecon. This is so incredible. I'm MK the Worst, and this ride was put together. And oh my goodness, look at all these mobs. Okay, there's cats. Guys, look, it's like my cat's Hobbs and Houdini. That's so perfect. Ginger Tabby, tuxedo cat, that's adorable. We've got a bunny. Okay, that chicken is looking a little bit worse for the wear. I'm wondering if he got clunked on the head, but that's adorable. Okay, the chicken and the zombie are friends. I don't know what I think about that, guys. It's making me a little bit concerned. Oh, okay, now things are getting scary though. Everything was so nice, and now we've got a creeper here on the right. I guess that's your guys' right, my left, and Alex. Alex looks way too chill to be next to this witch here. Yeah, I don't know what Alex is doing. Looking really confident though, very, very confident. Oh my goodness, and now we have upcoming the Nether. Do you guys hear these sound effects? I don't know if you're picking up the sound effect audio, but we've got a terrifying skeleton here on the left. This ride is incredible. This is so well put together. I love these backdrops. We've got another skeleton here. And look, we have Steve racing through the Nether, probably trying to raid the fortress or something. Wither skeletons there. Ooh, scary sound effects, very scary. Do you hear the lava, guys? Can you hear the lava? This is amazing. This is so cool. And you know, they're calling this Small World. It totally does remind me of It's a Small World ride at Disney World. I love it, love it. Okay, so now what is this? Oh, this is taiga. There's a little sheep stuck on a ledge there. Little lost sheep, little lost chicken up there. Ice spikes, maybe? And a howling wolf in the moonlight. That's fantastic. Oh, and it's a waterfall. I see, there's a fish. That's so cute. We got a mine now. Okay, another witch. Look out, guys. There's another witch. This is gonna be a problem. Lots of witches, spiders. Okay, and now we're out at night in a field of stars. This is so adorable. Look at all these Endermen. It's like an Enderman convention. Enderman convention. Very noisy, very scary. Oh, okay, so this is the end. This is the end. Of course, look, there's a crystal. Perfect. Oh, that makes sense, because we're in the end, and it's the end of the ride. This is awesome. I love this. This is so cute. Really well put together. Love these backdrops. Love all the mobs. Absolutely adorable. Great sound effects. Thanks so much, guys, for joining me on the ride through Small World. Again, I'm MK the Worst.
Wow, yes. See, I've been wondering what's been going on behind this wall, this side, and everyone's been kind of like, the YouTubers have been on the rides and everything like that, and I've been kind of wondering what it's like, and now I know. I love that kind of first-person perspective. It was amazing. But now we are here with one of the real stars of Minecon. This is the man who has basically made 10,000 people's jaws drop. That's a pretty good statement to have. You should put that like on your Twitter account. I've made 10,000 jaws drop. It's Greg, the man behind it all. It's amazing. So he has been tirelessly working away. What day did you actually arrive at the convention center?
We got here last Saturday.
So he's been here probably longer than anyone else?
I was the first person in the hall. It was all empty and
lonely.
Quiet,
You're
yeah.
sitting there with some tape.
It's actually kind of terrifying. You walk in and you just see this vast space and go like, wow, this has to be Minecon in a week.
And I have to fill quite a large amount of it. I really hope I brought enough trees. I mean, I think there's something really weird about being in just an empty space anyway. But, okay. How do you even begin to start to pull all this kind of stuff together? What's like step one on your kind of creative journey?
Well, step one is to create a concept for the show, like a theme. So I work with Lydia and Junk Boy and the Mojang guys and try and figure out what we want everyone to see. Because obviously, you know, Minecraft is the theme, but we want every year to be different. So this year, the theme is kind of like exploring the biomes.
Yeah, I mean, it's just unbelievably fantastic. I mean, let's talk first of all about the kind of halls and the stage. We're going to go through this systematically because he's done so much. We had to kind of literally put it in order, otherwise we'd just be lost. So the halls and the stages. So talk us through how complicated were the things? What kind of things were you most proud of creating?
Well, I mean, that's pretty easy. Most proud would be the dragon on Big Ben.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it's just, I've been working on it for months, and every time I walk in the hall, I look up and I'm like, wow, that's awesome. So hopefully everybody feels the same way. But
there are so many, if you look through the kind of Minecon Twitter feed, it's the thing that people take photos in front of, I think, more than anything else. I mean, just look at it. It just looks absolutely fantastic. Because when we arrived, it was just kind of like a dark cube, like in the air. And I was like, what is that? And everyone's like, it's going to be a dragon. I'm like, okay. But you're literally building everything from scratch. You didn't bring anything kind of pre-made. You were literally on the floor with some metal and some paint and like starting it right from the beginning.
Well, we had pre-made the frames and stuff, but there was a lot of materials that have to be cut live. Otherwise, you're in danger of them getting bent or ruined in transportation. So,
wow. I mean, okay, as someone who has to kind of, do things in the moment, how much goes wrong? Because you can plan, right? You can always plan and you can design stuff, but there's always going to be, oh, that's a bit, I mean, did everything pretty much go smoothly? Were there any small disasters?
This year went really, really smooth. If anything can go wrong, it will go wrong. Usually it's time. Time is never on my side. I'm super ambitious. I'm blessed with the fact that Mojang gives me like a free reign to be as big as I want to be. So the only real limitation is the time to get it all done. And, hence we don't really sleep the week before. Once we get into the hall, it's just 24/7 till we're done.
How many hours do you think you have actually slept?
This week?
Yeah.
All combined, probably about 10.
Why are you even awake? Why did we drag him in here? He should be napping or something. I feel awful.
I know, this couch is like so soft and comfortable. Like as the interview goes on, I'm slow.
It's all right. If he just takes a small nap, I honestly wouldn't be offended.
But then the adrenaline of, you're freaking out, trying to get everything done. You haven't slept in days. And then you hear outside the door 10,000 people that want to see what you've done. And when they walk in and everyone's so excited, it gives you that, like eighth wind.
Did you watch any of the live show last night at all? Did you manage to catch any of it?
No, just what I see on the screen. It's awesome. There's screens everywhere.
So kind of in the middle of the show, actually some of the Mojang team kind of went around after like just before, I think, the costume competition, and were kind of chatting to kids in the audience. And honestly, these kids were just like, this is the greatest day of my life. And it was just like, everyone was kind of tearing up, and that's, no small feat down to you, because a lot of the time you go to expos.
Well, that makes me tear up.
No, but seriously, they were like, it's literally the best day of my life. And they mean it. They genuinely mean it. And you go to kind of conventions and expos and stuff for games, and occasionally you get like some stands and they sort of look cool. But everything here is so magical. You know what I mean? You come through the door and it's a completely different world. And honestly
Well,
testament
that's
to you
what we
and
go
your
for.
work.
I always say that my job is to bring Minecon to life, bring Minecraft to life for a Minecon. And I think Mojang's philosophy is to make this unlike any other convention in the world. Like you go to the biggest ones and the different companies will have a big booth for a movie or for a comic or for a game. And their booth will be cool, but then there'll be a guy selling t-shirts next to it, and there's not a flow. So we try to make it where, everyone is here doing their own thing, but they're within a world that we provide.
It's like, honestly, if I was, like 12 years old, I mean, my jaw was on the floor anyway as an adult female, and I just can't imagine these kids they're buzzing, and you talk to them, and I talk quickly. These kids can talk fast. Seriously, they're just like, and the other thing, and then this one is the dragon, the bend, and you're like, wow, I need to up my listening game. But I imagine, is your house quite magical?
It looks a lot like this. Actually,
Really?
Come next week, it'll look a lot like this.
How much are you taking home? Okay, what have you, because we can talk about how we're going to divvy things up amongst the crew. What are you definitely taking home with you?
Well, the last part of my budget goes to armed guards for when we're loading out, because everyone's like, I could just take this mushroom, right? And I'm like, no, you cannot take this mushroom.
Well, okay, just between you and me, what are you going to take home?
Well, definitely all the animals. The animals always come home with me. You got to feed them and water them, make sure they're happy.
It's a lot of responsibility, pet ownership, even if they are Minecraft pets. Let's be honest.
I'd love to get that dragon home, but I don't think it'll fit on the plane. It does have wings. Maybe we can strap it to the plane.
Does it make you a little bit sad when you have to dismantle a little bit?
Yeah, that is this. But the thing is, it's multiple layers of emotion, because just Minecon being over in general is so sad. And then, over the course of the months that we're prepping for it, we build a little family. And then, some of those people we won't see again until next year. And then the worst part is there's a huge amount of stuff that just has to go in the bin. So.
That makes me so sad. Oh, I don't like things going to the bin, but it's kind of the way it works. So it's obviously Minecon, this is 10,000 people. This is a huge event. You've actually done some pretty other amazing things. Something to do with Spielberg, I mean, were you golf buddies? Like what went on with Spielberg? Tell us everything.
Everything?
Everything.
Well, that's
from start to finish. No, we got the time. We all want to know. We got a picture here.
Oh, wow, that's embarrassing.
Wow, look.
Yeah, so I was about 20 years old there.
You look a bit like Morrissey there.
Nice. I mostly, when I'm not doing Minecon, I do movie and television stuff.
Cool.
And sometimes I write and direct television, like I did Power Rangers, and then sometimes I build stuff for movies. And one of the main people that I work for is Steven, and he hired me when I was 17
Wow.
to work on a first movie with him, and then I was with him building models and sets and props and doing design work for 11 years. I did 13 movies with him.
Wow, what was the first movie you did with him?
The first movie was Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade.
So was that wasn't like your first, that's ridiculous that was like,
It blew my mind.
Please tell me you started on some rubbishy ones first. That wasn't like your first one.
It wasn't my first one.
Okay, good.
Yeah, well, the thing with movies is, sometimes they're brilliant, sometimes they're rubbish. Like, it doesn't matter what point in your career you're doing it. Like, you'll be working on something thinking you're really proud of it, and then it comes out as Batman and Robin, and then you have to have the walk of shame for the rest of your life. It's like Mr. Freeze, chill out, Gotham.
Yeah, it was a little bit. That was a little bit. Can you shamelessly name drop some of your amazing films you've worked on, just so people can be super impressed with you?
Sure, stuff like Terminator 2.
That was on TV last night, and I had to go to bed because we had to get up for today, and I was like, oh, it's the bit where he meets him in the mall, and I was like, but it's so good, and you're not sure which is. Sorry.
I haven't had time to see Genesis yet, but I'm excited because they say it's more like the first and second one. So, because the second one was pretty much like the coolest one.
It was literally.
It was cool to be there. I'm trying to think. I always forget when people ask me, but Minority Report.
That's cool.
AI, Memoirs of a Geisha.
Wow. Oh my goodness, your
TV shows like Babylon 5, Star Trek, X-Files.
X-Files? Are you excited about the new one coming out?
It's good.
Oh my goodness, you've literally worked with everyone I've ever sort of slightly gushed about ever. Okay, so do you know Stephen well enough that you could invite him round for lunch? Could you call him up and say, like, Stephen, I'm having a barbecue. Come around my
I
house.
definitely could have bribed him with some Minecon tickets. His kids are huge fans, so.
Ooh, that could be a really, really good one. Honestly, that's amazing. What would you say is probably the thing you're most proud of creating in your illustrious career? What do you reckon?
That dragon?
That dragon. Okay. Aside from the dragon, because that is awesome, what's the second best thing?
Well, I actually made my own movie. It's called Laboo, and I would have to say I'm super proud of that just because I wrote it, directed it, designed it. Like, it was a little low-budget movie. I was running around, like, sewing the costumes and, but when you watch it, if you like it or hate it, you have a better understanding of who I am because it's all me,
Like, you're kind of annoying because you're really good at lots of things.
Should I go?
No, that's like, I can barely just do one thing, which is this. But you're like, okay, I write, I direct, I build dragons, just hang out with Steven Spielberg. You have like the best life ever. That's amazing.
It's pretty cool. I mean, it's because I love to do it and I get to do it a lot, and stuff like this. Like, this is so outside what you would think I would do as a movie prop maker. But I got to meet the guys at Mojang, and they loved my work. And this show started out small. We were in Vegas with a few thousand people, and Vu and Lydia were like, "Hey, could you make some animals to be there?" And everyone responded really well to it. And now, there's about a dozen shipping containers of stuff coming to the show now. So.
Wow. I mean, the animals from the petting zoo, were they from the original one or no?
No, there's one animal here from the original one, which is the chicken that's in the museum that Notch cut his head off with the sword.
Oh my goodness. So, I mean, how long, like, really, how many people were actually involved in putting this together? Because you're not single-handedly doing this.
No.
Like, you would
I
be
would
some
honestly
crazy,
be dead if I was doing this.
crazy Terminator craft machine. It doesn't stop till the Minecon is done.
I do get that look in my eye, though, that Terminator look,
So how many people were working with you to kind of pull it all together? How big was your team?
Well, in the prep build, we had about 30.
Yeah.
In the moving into the hall, we had about 40, and then when you add on all the guys that have to go up in the machines and stuff, we were about probably about 60 strong to put this all together. Yeah.
That's a lot.
Yeah, we could almost make a whole movie with that many people.
Why not? What you need to do is write a story around a convention.
Minecon the movie?
Minecon the movie, which is kind of like the Telltale game, because that's based in a convention center as well. And then you could shoot it all here at night. Double your money.
I'll tell you what, if we had cameras in the house, because all the crew that came from America, we rented a house. And if we had cameras in there, it totally would have been like a Real World or something. It's 3 months of Americans living in the European countryside trying to build dragons and trees.
So, I mean, obviously the dragon is like the craziest thing I've ever seen. I can't not look at it every single time. So, next Minecon, you must have already had like a few little ideas. Can you just, just between you and me, what do you reckon you're going to do next time? How are you going to outdo a giant dragon around Big Ben? How is that possible?
My gut, I haven't said this to anyone, so they may be like, no, that's never going to happen. But my gut as I'm walking around, the whole being in London and seeing Big Ben and the dragon and the trees, I'm feeling very Robin Hood-ish, very past, you know? I would love to see next year, like, the future,
The future.
See what people's ideas are of Minecraft in the future.
Well, of course, because actually you've got the Mass Effect Minecraft skin pack, build pack. So actually there are ones that are quite futuristic already that kind of already exist. So it's not too much of a step to take it totally into the future and have lots of little Minecraftian Commander Shepherds wandering around with red hair. That'd be pretty cool. Or maybe you could it'd be like the sci-fi Minecon or something, right? Mix it in a little bit.
It would be fun.
Lots of portals. That'd be pretty badass. Or maybe it'd be more like you have the thematic world. So you have the medieval texture pack, obviously, then the futuristic ones. So you have different zones.
Yeah. Well, this year the zones we have the biomes. So we put the temples up. So each corner has a different temple. You have the ocean, desert, jungle, and the tundra. And my hope with that was not only have cool backdrops for people to take pictures of,
Yeah.
but just I always found it hard in the past years at any convention really to when you're trying to find your friends and they're like, I'm near N4 by the thing, and so I was like, oh, I want to make it where you can be like, oh, I'm by the ice temple, you know,
Yes.
and you just know where that is.
I have to say, I've been really sorely tempted not to climb on them, like, because you just feel like you should. I've seen some kids up there. I don't think, you're not supposed to climb on them, but it's really tempting. Maybe we need to make like a kind of hard foam version that's like a, I don't know, like a sort of Minecraft assault course or something. That could be cool.
That would be pretty amazing.
That'd be pretty amazing, I think. Or maybe
You have to
could
sign a waiver.
You could do like giant builds. So maybe if you had like a kind of play area that was effectively all these giant cubes, you'd be like, right, build a castle, and there's like 20 kids just like, right, trying to build it out of giant foam. That'd be rad. I'd do that. I'd be well up for that.
This is what's awesome about Minecraft. We've been sitting here for 10 minutes and there's like 30 ideas. So
I know.
there's so many things you can do with it. Because I've had a lot of friends ask me, like, when I first came on to do it, they're like, well, Minecraft, like, it's just like blocks and you build stuff. Like, what could you really do? And you could do so much.
Yeah, I don't think we're never gonna run out of ideas.
No, we'll never run out of ideas. And I feel like it's just going to keep getting bigger. And, the first year was just in a little hall in a hotel.
Where should we go next? Where should we go next year? Where do you reckon? We could go Bahamas, although that's quite difficult. Everything's sand. It'd be really hard to build, as you know, out of sand because it just falls down. So.
It's tough because there's the part of me that wants to explore the world and have a reason to go. I'd love to go some crazy place. I'd
Like
love
Nepal
to do
or
Japan or something. Some place where people would love to come visit to see the show if they're not from that place, but from a place where everyone loves Minecraft. But then there's the producer side of me, the builder side that's like, oh, it's so hard to do this stuff when, you don't speak the language and when the materials are all different. Like, even though America and England we're brethren, and we speak the same language, and
Just about.
And it's like there's big movie studios here and there's big movie studios there, but everything is different. So I'm running around. I was on the golems. I put rivets, and I used what we call them thumbtacks. It took me 3 weeks to find these things because
I kept saying, yeah.
because here they call them drawing pins.
Yes. That and Q-tips is the other one. Because for Q-tips for us is snooker, the top of a snooker cue. But for you guys, it's stuff you shove in your ears.
Yeah. See, if you were saying snooker cue, I'd have no idea what you're
No,
talking about.
you don't want to clean your ears with that.
We have popsicle sticks, and you guys have lolly sticks. And so it's just little things like that where it took a while to figure out. So I couldn't imagine being in like Dubois or something and trying to find all these things.
Trying to explain what a panel pin is or something. Yeah, that's pretty tricky. Well, I think we're out of time now, but honestly, I can sit here and
time
chat
is
to
always
you.
against us.
Time is always against us, Greg. Always, in life and at Minecon. But thank you so much for talking to us. Honestly, I could sit here for like an hour just picking your brain about all the things you've worked on. It's amazing.
Thank you.
Next up, we're going to be going to the main stage a little bit. But before we do that, yes, we are going to be going and seeing a little VT of the pack touring Minecon. We'll see you very soon.